Auntie Jo here with Auntie Jo Sews. So today I'm just going to show you how I use my Copic markers to color this Santa. This is by Stampendous. It's a Jolly Santa stamp. I think it's R156 Jolly Santa, and I believe came out in, I want to say, 2012. So basically, this is the Santa I made. This is the base that I used for stamping, and let's just start and get into it. Okay, so the first one color I'm going to use, I'm going to color his face here, and I'm going to use E000, and I'm going to take the pointy nib and just start going in circular motion and give his face some color. So you're just going to color around. Don't hit his eyeball, his cover, everything. We're going to give him some nice color in his face. This, and you want to do circular motion. This is a good cardstock paper, sort of heavier weight, about, I want to say 50. And just an ivory plain color, nothing fancy. Then I'm going to come back, and how we get this effect is we want to see where the light's coming in. So where the light's coming in, it's going to be brighter, and of course where the light's going to be a shadow, it's going to be a little darker, so we'll make those shadowy. So it looks to me like the light's coming here. It's going to hit him right about here in the head because he's kind of face on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly go around, and again, this is E00. I'm going to go around, miss his eyebrows, make it a little darker over this side, but I'm going to do the whole face where it comes up into his eyebrows, the hat. And there we go. And again, a little heavier over here. Okay. Then I'm going to take E11, which almost just dropped on the floor, and E11, and we're going to want the shadow on this side, and the light is going to come right in here, so we're going to keep this side lighter than the rest. So we're gonna, this is E11 again, a little heavier here, but still touch it up here through the top, come around the eyebrows, a little lighter, and a little heavier here. Then we're gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna do the blush. I'm gonna give him some blush, and that, a little rosiness to his cheeks, and that's gonna be R20. And for that, I'm just gonna hit it right here, just on what would be the apple of his cheeks. It's kind of hard to see right here. Then I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to blend this in so you don't have the lines. And what I'm going to do with that is going to use the lightest one we have again, which is the E000. I do have, maybe I'll use E and then 4 zeros and see how that looks. This was E and 3 zeros. So let's just see what happens if I try and blend with that. I'm going to do some light circle feathers. Blend that in. It might be too light. I may have to go back in and redo it. We'll see here in a second. Let's see. I don't know. We'll let that dry and come back. So we're going to take E40, and we are going to start doing the beard. Okay. And when I do the beard, I like to use just light feather strokes for that. Okay, where's my E40? I think I told you guys if I ever start singing, that's the time to like turn off the sound. I'm not a singer. I just had that in my hand a second ago. Come on, Joe, let's get it together here. Alright, so I don't know what to do with the E40. So I will come back when I have found it. Found the E40. It took me a bit. Okay, so what I like to do for this, I'm going to use the lines that come in the stamp, and I'm going to go over the lines with feather, kind of medium pressure feathering. And this is going to give it some color here. And we're just going to go over the first set of lines, and I'm going to do his eyebrows with the E40. I think that really looks good. And then we're going to do just the outside of his whiskers for his mustache. These here. And you can see just how I'm just going over, not filling it in. We're going to leave the base of this is actually going to stay white. We're not going to try and color it all in. That would just be, I think that would just be too time consuming and kind of ridiculous. Okay, so there. I'm then going to take my W5 and we're going to layer next to the E40 we just put down. So we're just going to sort of come out a little bit from where we were with the E40. And you can see we're just lightly doing that, just super, super light. So that it's not a heavy-handed, it's going to be light. When it dries, it's going to look great. Alright. And his eyes I did last, so I'll do his eyes last when we do it again too. So we're going to come back here and see, I don't really like how that turned out, so I think I'm just going to blend just a touch more right there, and I am going to use the E000 and see how that looks. I had tried the 4 zeros, but it didn't really do it. I didn't really like it a whole lot. So we're going to go back through and just pull that back in a little bit. And that should be good. Okay, then we're going to get out the B29, and we are going to line his hood, or the white part of his Santa hat, and his little fuzzy ball there. And how we're going to do that, super duper light circles here, super duper light. And this blue, we're going to blend it with a little gray. It's just going to look great. There. Okay. And we're going to grab the W3 again. And we're just going to go over these lines there, and then we're going to just layer that right along the blue here and there, and then we're going to get the 0 pen, which is our blender pen, and blend it all together. Start from the outside and blend in towards the middle, in circular motion. You'll see how well that blends there. Just going to pull it over. There we go. Now for the red part of his Santa hat, you're going to get R24, R39, R59 is what I'm going to use. Some other folks may want to do it a little darker, a little lighter. I prefer this way. I think it looks a lot better for this particular Santa. So you're going to come along just the edge and do your feather stroke right along the edge there. You don't want the colors to too close together. So you want to have some line of demarcation, but not significant. You don't want it to look like a line, if that makes sense. Like, you want to have a line, but you don't really want it to look like a line. There we go. Then we're going to feather that in all the way in here. Light, circulish kind of strokes. I don't know if circulish is really a word or not. There we go. And get that here. And we're going to come with this next one I'm going to use is going to be R39. And again, that's going to be sort of where the shadow is going to be. So it's going to be a little darker here, as you can see. Going to give it that little bit of a shadow impression here. And then we're going to blend all this together. It's going to look great. Okay? And just a little teeny touch here. Not much. I'm lightening it up versus what I did on the first one. Then we're going to have the really dark R59. Or do I want to use R89? I think I'm going to use R89. It's really dark. We'll just give a little bit of shadow here. Yeah, that looks really good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back in with the original color, which was R24. And we're going to feather stroke it all the way here. And that gives it real nice dimension and depth. So I think his eyebrows are a little light too, so I'm going to come back with the E11 for that. And I'm going to use the E13. We'll use the E13. And just darken his eyebrows up just a little bit. Not much, just a little. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to make his eyes super bright blue, and that is B28. And it's just a little dot there, and little dot there. Don't want to get too crazy with it because it will bleed out a little too far. The markers don't bleed. The Copic's really great for that, but still, I don't like to chance it because I think it could get a little crazy and go out where I don't want it to go, and then I can't fix it. So then I'm using 110 Special Black for his little eyes. Give him some eyelashes there, eyelashes here, and then just a little bit where his waterline would be, and pull him up a little bit. There we go. And then for the poinsettia here, I just grabbed whatever greens I kind of thought looked good, which I've got G28, G9, and I used the lighter to blend it, which was G2. So I came out light first, the lighter, or the middle of the 3 colors, and this would be the G9. And just it's kind of, I don't know what the word is, not really super lined real well because of the stamp. So maybe I just didn't hit it dark enough. I don't know. But then I'm layering the next color, which is the G28, right along where I laid down the first color. And you can see it gives it a little bit of depth, dimension. And then, and I only usually do 2 color blending. Sometimes I'll do 3. With the greens, I like to do 3 because I think it gives it more depth. And this is going to be your G2, the lightest, and we're going to come back in and just go all over that, and that's going to dry super nice. So there we go. You can always come back in if you want, add some stuff, change some stuff. Could make this a little softer if you wanted to, but there are my 2 Stampendous Santas. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, oh, you know what, let me get this in a little closer, a little better focus too, at the end there. Okay, so now I can say it. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please take a moment and subscribe. Thanks so much.